Let's do it. Oh man, probably gonna be a short show. I'm trying not to cough and clear my throat into the mic every 5 seconds. Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm not. I'm gonna feel sorry for myself in this call. All 10 of you watching, I'm not even worried about it. 2. Jody, what do you do when you get sick? What's your preventative measures? What's up, Slater? Your shirt's on the way. What's your go-to, Leslie? It's at this point, it doesn't matter, for me specifically, but yes, in general, more because work would be crazy. Work would be the worst if I was sick heading to it. Oh, 15 people? Oh, there's a lot of people up. Good morning, good morning. I'm trying get my act together. Sorry, I sound terrible. I'll try and figure some stuff out. Guys, I got a new toy. Well, um, and it's like here, I'll show you. It's like a glass whiteboard. Oh, this thing is sweet. And yes, Leslie, you're the best. I did. Guys, crazy story. So I lost my headphones, but I had the case. And then and it was like 2 weeks ago, like going on 2.5 now. And um all of a sudden my wife, like we have like a Facebook group for our neighborhood, right? HOA and stuff. And so my wife was like, "Did you lose a headphone?" I was like, "Yeah." I didn't tell her because they're expensive as shit. And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "I think someone found it." And they found it on the sidewalk, and they lived like around the neighborhood. And I was like, "Let me just go walk." And sure enough, as soon as I started walking, I got to like the catty corner of our home around our little loop, and I found one, and then theirs was the other, and they work. I charged them, and they fucking work. This is crazy. I was so stoked, but the problem is I lost the buds. I don't have the little fluffy piece, the little rubber piece that goes in your ear, so I gotta buy some more. But it was worth it. Oh, I got a really good story. So me and my wife have been together for a really long time, and, we've been engaged since 2014, and so we were living in South Florida for PT school, um and no, I did have Raycons, I like them, but I wanted some Beats just because Beats like, they just work better with Apple stuff, right? Like, with the Raycons, I'd have to, like, unconnect them and then connect them again to, like, computer, to phone, to watch, like, I mean, first world problems, but it just annoyed the piss out of me. And then they just started to get like, they stopped working. I think I washed them also, and then I was just like, "I'm gonna get Beats." Anyways, so, uh, we just got engaged, and so she was a nanny for family in Coral Gables, and so one day she calls me, I'm in school, or I'm in PT school. Okay, she calls me. She's like, "I got news." I was like, All right, what's up?" And she goes, "I lost the ring." I was like, "What?" I was like, "You lost the engagement ring?" I was like, "I just spent a lot of money on that." And so so I was like, "Don't panic." I think I had it insured or something, and, whatever. You know, diamonds or, whatever, they fake, or, it doesn't matter. Anyways, it was there. We paid a lot of money for it. It's probably fake, and it is what it is. So anyways, so we started looking, right? Like a two street loop, right? Probably like half a mile worth of ground. And we look for like 48 hours. We go to Dick's Sporting Goods and um we get a metal detector, and we just keep walking, right? And we keep walking for like 2 days. Legit, this was like a Friday. Came back Saturday, looked for a few hours, and we were just about to call it and put in the insurance claim. And, like we do like beep, 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 right? And so one hit and I didn't even look. I was like, ah, it's fine. And she goes, you missed one. And I just looked down and there it was. This fucking, 1 carat diamond just sitting on the sidewalk. It was nuts. And we found it after 48 hours, just like had fallen out of her pocket. She went to put on like sunscreen on the kids or something, and it just fell out of her pocket. And we found it. It was nuts. Crazy, crazy stories. All right. What's in the sphere? I don't have much to talk about because I just don't want to talk about people not doing the open. It's like I just kind of want to blow my brains out. Hmm. This is like a profession. People do this and they make a lot of money. All right. Um, let's see. I don't know. We got anything? Anyone in the chat? There's 18 of you. Who's got something they want to talk about? Hmm. Um, I got nothing. Why do we think that why do we think that people not doing the open is so enticing to talk about? I don't know. Oh yeah. Talk around the sale. Well, I don't know. I mean, I can't talk about anything outside of that I hear it's coming. Does anyone in the chat know anything more about it? I don't know. I don't think I can talk about anything specifically. I will converse um, with anyone that has any ideas or thoughts, but I don't have any information that I'm allowed to share. Um, oh, I guess they talk about Leslie says they talk about the people not doing it because it's a drama. I guess. Let's see. No, we have other things to talk about. Let's see. What else? Oh, you guys should follow if you don't follow. So I coach this athlete. Her name is Katie. She's a licensed PT. Make sure there's nothing on my screen. She won the adaptive division last year. She's deaf, and she's going to make a run. Oh, did he? Good. I'll make a run with a team. In general, she's very fit. You guys should follow her. She's pretty inspiring. She posts a lot about, you know, PT life and, working through being deaf and anything. Anyway, she's pretty cool. Got any fitness on here? She's usually pretty fit. She posts a lot about her training. All right, Jason. What did Jason put out? I mean, masters is masters. I don't think there's not really anything new happening. It's not really anything to talk about. The only thing they did was take away a couple of spots in the lower lower divisions, like the younger age groups. Oh, I see. Oh yeah, he's the age group. Here, let's go. We can talk about that. All right. Okay. There we go. All right.
Your thoughts in the comments anytime in this video or after you're done watching, because I'm bringing your feedback straight to CrossFit HQ. In the CrossFit Athlete Council last week, Adrian Bosman was on the call and he laid out an agenda for us. First question from HQ, and here's where I need your feedback, is how many workouts make sense for a semifinals weekend for Masters athletes? Our semifinals is virtual, and right now the schedule is workouts are released on a Thursday and they're due at the end of the day on Sunday. So that's Thursday afternoon or evening, Friday, Saturday, and most of Sunday to complete workouts.
Sorry.
How many workouts within that time frame make sense to have a fair competition? I have my opinion, but I want to know what
People
you guys
can't.
think. Is 3
I only watch recorded YouTube on 2 times.
workouts
So
enough?
I know,
Is
but other
4
people
workouts
can't do
enough?
that.
Is 9 workouts too much? What do you think? My
9 for semifinals? Is that what he just said? That's fucking stupid.
Is that somewhere between 6 and 7 scores would be great. I think the more tests, the better. At the same time, you have to be sensitive to those athletes that may have to work on a Friday. So they may only have maybe Thursday.
Okay. This is the dumbest fucking thing ever. There's money involved. If you're committed to it, you have to take off work. That's just part of it. I think that's dumb. It's only like 1,000 people on the planet, right? Like it's like 200. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. I think it's like 2,500 men and women that will do the Masters semifinals. It's not a lot. You don't have to. You don't have to worry about someone taking off work. I hate that excuse. I think that doesn't make any sense. It's irrelevant. Now, when it was quarterfinals and the whole fucking world was doing it, sure. But
Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, all day, and Sunday. So we have to think about.
But for people that are like, oh, I gotta work, it's like, well, do you want to go to the CrossFit Games and take off work? It's a competition. Like, it's fine.
Being as fair as we can to all the athletes, but also at the same time know that this is a unique competition. And if you were going to go travel to a competition, let's say the Fittest of the Coast, which I just competed in, you might be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That may be
I love
your
how
weekend.
every Masters writes a dissertation in the comments because everyone, this is great. Like if like Taylor or Colton posted this, the only people that would comment would be Masters 2, by the way. Anyone of age doesn't give a shit.
So you plan for big competitions like this. So I think it's fair to say that you're going to try to compete Friday, Saturday, and most of the day Sunday, keeping in mind that you do have to get a video uploaded before you submit scores at the end of the day on Sunday. So you need a little wiggle room on that. Should there be different numbers of workouts for different age groups? Should the 35 to 50-year-old age group have a different amount of events or workouts in that weekend than maybe the 50?
Now, I do think that the adjustments per age group needs to change. Like, we got to get past this, like a 54-year-old doing the fucking same thing as Will Morad. That's insane. This doesn't make any sense.
50 plus, 55 plus, 60 plus, or should everyone have the same amount of workouts? Again, just want to hear from you guys on this. Another question, are back-to-back tests or 2 score tests fair for online competition? You know, maybe there's one workout that's for time or an AMRAP and then a couple of minute reset and then another thing. I think back to some of the semifinals tests that we did in the past. I remember thinking all the way back to when this used to be called the age group online qualifier. We had
Which wasn't that long ago, all the way back. It was 3 years ago. It wasn't long ago. It was 2021. Let's just be clear.
Although we had Monday as well, it was typically Thursday through one or repeats, 1 or 2 tests on Thursday, 1 or 2 on Friday, 1 or 2 on Saturday. I'd rest on Sunday, and then I would repeat some on Monday. And I really liked that rhythm. I would repeat
and he was super beefy.
on Friday, 1 or 2 on Saturday. I'd rest on Sunday, and then I would repeat some on Monday. And I really liked that rhythm. Although it was stressful, this goes way, just definitely to judge. We found out for the box. I mean, look, let's just certain distance, 25 creatively,
nice
where to
video.
put the camera. What are some things I'm not thinking about? What are some movement patterns and tests that we should not see in an online
movements that we shouldn't see?
Qualifier. Should movements be age group dependent? For example, are ring muscle ups something that we should see in the 35 to maybe 60-year-old age group, but not in the 60 plus, the 70 plus? Or should those athletes in those areas maybe be doing something like ring muscle ups, but if they can't do a ring muscle up, there is a way to get a score by doing burpee pull-ups. You know, maybe 3 burpee pull-ups is equal to a ring muscle up.
No, I hate that. You should know it. No, there should never be a do this instead of this. And we are on, that's called scaling. Let's just be clear. That's called scaling. Defeats the whole purpose. Just don't do the movement. If you're worried about it, don't do the movement. Do chest to bars or whatever.
And you're able to still get a score if you scale. But if you can do that higher scale movement at that higher most amount of tests, I think it was 2 tests per day, 90% sure. Should we see more? For Masters athletes, should we see something like 11 or 12 tests? Or is that too many?
No, 11 or 12 is way too many, for sure. I don't even remember how many were this year, but it was a lot. They were eating up. I think it was 10. Judging video submissions,
Minimum.
fairness.
I think we want as many tests as possible, right? Because we're there. All we're doing there is being.
We'll see what some of the comments say. Two scored could be good. It's time creative. No pistols. Push. Okay, thank you. We must have distance workouts. I don't know why we must have them. I mean, I'm for them, but I don't know why we must have them. Advanced gymnastics. I mean, that's probably, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, 60 female. Now it's this year is probably like a good year to start that, but 65 female still pointless for muscle ups. Short and long, new judging, video standards, 70 male here. Gym judge and athlete schedules. Scheduling, it just shouldn't be an option. Just fucking deal with it. It's annoying. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know why anyone is like, oh, I need it to be. I don't know. That's dumb. Anyone got any thoughts? Can you guys see? All right. Bruce complaining per usual. Ew. This is dumb. 10 days? No. Work obligations. Yeah, then you're not committed. No, you don't get to claim work obligations for whatever. Yeah, this is great. I agree. 5'7", no V-ups or pistols. It's fine. I hate this. No. Also, 3-1, by the way, is not even close. Like if it was like the do 30 pull-ups or 10 bar muscle ups, I'm gonna do 30 pull-ups and be way better off. The athlete that does bar muscle ups can get penalized if he does 3, but the scale does 12. Yeah, that's dumb. What do we think should not be an online semifinal? Well, I guess just online format in general. I mean, simple things like, well, it doesn't cost. So, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. What does the CrossFit sale mean for the Masters? Huh. I would think it means, well, they're pretty much separated, right? Like the online competition doesn't take anything from CrossFit, right? And I know that they are subsidized at their games, but I don't think it's like a crazy amount, right? Like I don't think it's a crazy amount of subsidy to run it. I think ticket sales do it and open signups do it and they get a budget. And so I mean it's the least controversial fucking thing in our sport. Why would they take it away? It's the only consistent thing that we have. Um and so um I mean I think it would be it I mean you would see like if there was nothing to do for the Masters, right? Like the whole point of the Open is to do the next thing. Right? Like that's why people do it. They do it so they can, the masters do because they like feel like they're going to go compete at the next stage and they challenge themselves and you know and all the other shit and we'll not talk about the open but I don't know that would be that would be really sad. 'Cause that would be big impact on my business. All right. So what movements do we think should not be in an online semifinal format regardless of age division? What do we think should not be in an online trying to think of, like, what movements are, like, cheated the most. I don't know. I don't really know if there's any movements that I mean, I think for masters, I think pistols just shouldn't be a movement. There's just there's like a and this is masters specific. there's a risk reward for every movement pattern, right? Like just in general, and the physiological requirements to do a pistol correctly um is just like it's super demanding, and that's not a great reason to not do it, but most people can't. I mean, most, right? Like, even most games athletes can't, right? Like, besides Noah and Matt and, like, Carrie Pierce, right? Like, like, there's quite a few that can, but there's quite a few that just do it in their toes because they just can't they don't have the ankle range of motion, and it's not like a back squat. People aren't gonna put in the time to improve that specific thing, and then for the masters, they're just like, single leg work is really tough, and the pistol is just, like, dynamically like there's no inherently bad movement by any means or dangerous, but none of us are very well prepared for it, and so I don't think it should be in the masters division at all, ever, personally. What movements do we think? I mean, a lot of movements that have never shown up, right? Like push-ups probably shouldn't. Um, like GHD hip extensions, V-ups probably shouldn't make a return. But I mean, I don't know. It's like it just depends on how many. I like to do movements where you like less focus on things like a muscle up because you can like have a bad rep in a muscle up that doesn't get seen on video, and it makes a huge competitive advantage. Like the handstand walk, not so much. Like you're going 25 feet and it's like you either make it or you don't, right? There's not really like a good standard or rep that like you can flirt with to like skirt the line, right? Same thing with like a bar muscle up, like you're getting over the bar, right? And so even if you're doing shitty reps, the amount of work you're doing is still going to be up there. Um, but I don't know, Leslie. What movements do we think should not be in an online? I think that's it. I mean, I think everything is um is in the semifinal, especially now back to the top 200, not quarterfinals. Um, I think everything is on the like up for grabs. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think everything is up for grabs besides just like standard stuff, kettlebell swings, like just the normal things that never show up, right? And so if you're just never showing up, then I don't think it's something that we need to address. um yeah, I mean, the scaling thing is what it is.
being tested. And the more tests, the more rounded the overall event can be. But what do you think? Is 2 events per day fair? Or maybe 3 events one day, 2 events one day? That gets us to 10 events. And should different age groups have a different number of tests?
I first off, I don't fucking think that the age group should be 4 days and the CrossFit Games 3 days. Let's just be clear. Like he wants this because he's resilient, but the Masters CrossFit Games should be 3 days. It should it shouldn't be 4 days like it was. Everyone was beat to shit. Everyone, right? And I know a lot of them were short. Now I wouldn't mind them 4 days if there's like a long workout, like a 20 or 30 or 40-minute piece on one day. Um, but the CrossFit Games is 4 days. The Masters don't need as many tests. They just don't. I mean, they're you don't.
Tests. Should younger age groups have more tests? Older age groups have less tests? What do you think in the CrossFit Games?
I like the older age groups having maybe 1 or 2 less, which is what they usually do. They usually have 1 or 2 less tests. That's how it's been in the past, which I think is fine.
Competition in person is the right amount. And let's just say that that's 4 days of competition. And they didn't ask this, but what do you think about this? One of the critiques about the last CrossFit Games is that there wasn't any long workouts. There wasn't that 5K. There wasn't that 40-minute chipper or a big workout. And while those are really taxing, those are really challenging overall, we've had those in the past. I think back to one of the toughest ones was 2019. We had the 5K ruck run, 6K, actually 6,000 meter ruck run. And it got heavier and heavier and heavier each 1,500 meters. It's the same workout that the individual athletes did. When Matt Frazier lost one of of his weights out of his backpack. He did the same thing. I believe that was day one, and that messed us up for the rest of the weekend. But I loved it. And it was long and it was hard. It was grueling. But that is why we're tested at the games, and that was very cool. Should we try to have those types of longer events in the CrossFit Games in
Yes,
2025 and beyond?
100%.
All right, those
Everyone needs it. Last year was too many short events. All the events were very similar.
there's some areas where I need your feedback. And if there's other, well, for the CrossFit Open, it's going to run as standard. For Masters athletes, well, you need to have during semifinals. The Advanced Judges course is a second course.
All right. Yeah, all the stuff. Anyways, that was good. Good job, Jason. I appreciate that. That's a really good, well done video. I like his little setup there in his tiny little office, accent wall. All right. What else? I'm trying to stay alive here. Oh, guys. So I don't have some piece of shit, but if you're looking for some coffee, we would love for you guys to try out Candlestick Coffee. Candlestick Coffee. Bring back the marathon row. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Small batch coffee for all that you love. The more you buy, the more you save. All right. Use code WODprep. All right. We do the Peru. All right. Boom. WODprep gets you. I don't know. Where are we going here? Apply coupon. WODprep. WODprep gets you 10% off. All right. Just give it a try. He's a CrossFitter. He's just a bro. Trains out of his garage. He's a super good dude. Right. So give it a try. Candlestick Coffee Roasters. They're out of New Mexico. And good people. I really like them. I love their coffee. It's really, really good. So give it a try. All right. We'd love for you guys to give it a try. It would help us, help him. Not a damn thing. Nothing important today. Boring day. I'm still sick. Bring back the merit. God, could you imagine putting a bunch of fucking masters on a rower for 5 hours? That would be just mind-blowingly entertaining. Guys, give it a try. Code WODprep for 10% off. All right. All right. God, could you imagine? I never did it. That was like one of the only crazy things that I never did. All right. Anything else in the world? Avera, your question was read on Dave's week in review. All right. What else? Is there anything else? I don't even know. 42,000 meters. What? Yeah, that sounds fucking terrible. All right. That's funny. All right, let's see. Did you guys hear? I've done the half, Stefan. I haven't. What have I done? I've done an hour, which is 15, like 15.5, like 15,500. All right. Whoa. All right. I got nothing. There's nothing on social media. All right. What's the chat got? There's 30 of you watching. What do you guys want to talk about? I really got nothing. I'm grinding through here. So I'll hang on because people are here. So I'm not drinking coffee this morning because I think when I'm sick and I drink caffeine, it makes it worse. It's almost guaranteed that if I drink caffeine when I'm sick, like I'm gonna get like a sore throat. It's very weird. I don't know why. Is anyone else like that? Like they can't, like I don't know, like when I drink caffeine when I'm sick, like I'm almost for sure gonna start to feel worse. I wonder if it's like a dehydration thing. Mhm. Anyone's affiliate. Yeah, I mean, I think they all do. right? We do. It's not going that well. I asked the owner of it. Yeah, it's like sad a sad development of people doing it. But no, not really signing up. No one signs up. They just do the thing, you know? Which is sad too, because like, my gym owner is, like, a huge CrossFit, like, Greg lover. Hmm. Yeah, I usually do. There's, like, a point like, I gotta get to it, which I did. I basically am sleeping in all of this, but I feel like I gotta get to a point. I think the problem was I felt really good Sunday, and I just tried to act normal. I had coffee and I worked all day, because I fucking had every person that I coached to program for. And I think I don't know, like you could see my HRV went up Sunday night and like, cause I felt great on Sunday. And then like yesterday morning, I woke up and I was tanked. Like it just went, um, and then my HRV was in the toilet again last night. So something else happened. I don't know. I started to get sick again. I was taking Tamiflu and then I stopped because I just got so much nausea and maybe I shouldn't have stopped. I don't know. It is what it is. It's annoying. Um, all right. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I got. That's it. I don't have much else. I'd like to work out and not be a total piece of shit. I need some video ideas. I need some social media ideas. Anyone got any ideas? Like, man, I wish someone would make a video like this. I still can't believe I found my headphones. That's so crazy. Tea is always the best when I feel terrible. Handstand push-up drill. I can't demo handstand push-up drills, but yes, that's a good one. Mm, all right. I got nothing. I'm not gonna hang on to just sit here. You guys can stare at my sick face. I'm trying to scroll social media. I don't see diddly. That's a terrible demo video. Hold on, I gotta pull this up. We'll pull this up. I feel like this is maybe it was just her first rep. I don't feel like these are very good reps. No, don't go. Oh, Jody, thank you. I feel like she's not hitting her thighs. I feel like this is not a great demo. Like she's leaving early. Maybe not. Maybe it's just because it's dark. It's a very strange video. You guys see it? Yeah, I guess she is. I guess it's fine. It looked like she like wasn't getting there. Pro tip of the day: you can't do enough ring rows. I think, interestingly enough, the pull up is such a unique pulling pattern. I don't think horizontal pulling translates really well, like solely. Like if you have to be doing vertical pulling to get your first pull up, mainly. Also, the big thing, um, the big thing with like getting your first pull up in general for anyone is like there's just such a strength to weight ratio requirement. Like if you're not that strong and you're a little overweight, like, you losing weight is going to be such a better, like, direction than you trying to get stronger, right? And I'm not telling everyone they gotta lose weight to do strict pull-ups, but, um um, no, no, Avera, I've I mean, maybe, but I've coached a lot of people. I really don't be a dick. I've I've coached thousands of people into pull-ups at this point. And not saying that makes me like an expert or anything, but I've coached a lot of females that can't do pull-ups at all, right? I think they're important, but I don't think, I think there's better things personally. That's it. That's all that's all I was saying. Um, Jody, I'll pull it up. Uh How do you diplomatically tell a CrossFit gym owner the gym is filthy, equipment's falling apart, and flooring is coming apart at the seams, and you never consider joining no matter what? I mean, uh, is this person trying to get you to join? Is that like where we're at? This person's trying to get you to join, Jody. Um, Trista, first open, hell yes. Congratulations. You'll never stop. Any tips? I want to see where I can go competitively. I got most movements down, but any advice helps. Don't go as fast as you wanna go when the clock hits 3, 2, 1, go. Break gymnastics more than you think. Good rule of thumb is you should probably never be doing more than about 30% of your max set in a workout. Like, if you can do 10 chest to bars, you should probably never be doing more than about 3s, okay? Um, and it's all about pacing, right? If there's a movement you can't do, don't be upset. It is what it is. Don't get discouraged. Just use it for motivation next year. Um, uh, and um, yeah, when that clock hits 3, 2, 1, go, start slower than you want to go. It's all about finishing fast, not starting fast. Everyone starts fast and then everyone ends slow. Don't be that person. What's up, Kay? Jody, checked out a new box. Took my free class. Yeah, I mean, I mean, are you wanting to give that person constructive criticism? If so, then, hey, look, I think the atmosphere is cool, but the gym quality is just like not up to what I would be willing to pay for, and be polite about it. Or you just don't say anything, right? Like, unless they're like hammering you about it. Like, why don't you want to join? Because if they're like being, direct about it, um, then it's probably, you can probably do whatever. Mm, You know, do I recommend 20 toast? No, I don't recommend 20 toast the bar unbroken for anybody, ever. Like, unless you're a games athlete. And even then, it better be it better be 20 like toes to bar and you're moving on. But if you have like a huge set, people get eaten up. You don't realize that, you know, it's all about it's all about pacing and it's all about making smart sets. 4 sets of 5 with rest will get you to your goal of 20 in maybe 15 seconds slower, but you're gonna feel great and you're gonna be able to do more sets of 5, right? Small sets are always the best. Singles are great. Unless you've got great gymnastics, you probably should be doing singles in whatever gymnastics movement that shows up. And if it's your first open, odds are you don't have great gymnastics. That's just how that that's just how that works. Mm-hmm. All right. What else? Anything? Anything good? Mm-hmm. Let's see. No, I got nothing. Good questions. Good chat. Not a lot going on. Once the open starts, there'll be a shit ton going on. And we'll be cruising along for sure. We'll still try and keep our, yeah, that's how it is. Just keep working them. Lots of upper body pulling strength, like you said. 20.2. I know that's what Hiller thinks it is. I don't think it's gonna be. I think Hiller and John said that. I don't think it's gonna be that. I hope it is. That's one of my I love that workout. I think I'd even be it's definitely not 100%. Um, by any means. But it's a good one. It's super accessible. A lot of people can run through it. Um, mm, maybe. Uh, so it's a good one. I love it. If you guys don't know what workout Grant is talking about, it's this one. But they said that before they ever had. It's not similar to. It's not even remotely similar to 24.2 Grant. Like not even in the same realm. What are you talking about? It's nothing like 24.2. Anyways, oh, whoops, sorry. Here you go. It's a good one. I love it. No, I'm not fucking. You're not calling in. No, not a chance. Um, but it's a good one. Uh, you just, I would say, break your toes to bar. If this is it, I broke my toes to bar 4-2 or 3-3, and I think I got like 26 rounds. Let me see if I remember correctly. Transitions are my game though. Like you give me a workout with 50 transitions in it, I'm gonna be better than everybody. Um, let's see, 2020 men CJ De Palma. How many rounds did I get? 26 might be an exaggeration. 22, sorry, 22. But still, which was a pretty. I think that was my yeah, that was my second best score that year. But I had a really good score. That was my best year. That was my best open with a heavy barbell, which means that it would have been a much better open had I not been a weak piece of shit. I think the above average was like, let's see, 20.2 beyond the whiteboard results. Um, um, so can you see? I'll zoom in. So like the 16 round mark was like just above the bell curve. This is 15. So 13, 14 rounds was right here. So you can find a lot of this old stuff in Beyond the Whiteboard. They have things like this all the time. But this is a good one. I love it. It's a great workout. It hurts. But it's a good one. I hope it is. It's a good repeat workout. Hmm. It's only open weight. He won 20.5. So only, I remember watching that video actually. I remember his gym. I can see it. I do. the games athletes approach that workout so differently, right? Like they all basically like just did wall balls and rowing and muscle ups back and forth, and they rowed because they're um uh like just the way that their capacity is. Um it's so much different than ours. But I agree with Grant. I doubt they'll touch it with a 10-foot pole. Unless the sale happens, then I think they could change it overnight for sure. Um, but people will spin it to a negative for sure. That doesn't sound like it's going to work out well for anyone. Um, hmm, let's see. Yeah, so if this is the workout, everyone watching, unless you have like 30 unbroken toes to bar, split um split the toes to bar 3-3. That way you never need chalk. You just do 3, you drop down, you turn around, you do 3, you take 2 steps, you grab your rope, put your rope down correctly. If you've watched my Instagram, you know how to do that. You take one side step to the left or to the right. You go right into a squat clean. You do your 4 thrusters, then you just go 3 and 3. You never get chalk. You never stop moving, but you never are working very fast or hard. Um, you try and minimize transitions with steps, and you keep everything very narrow. Man, I was 29 when this workout came out. Jesus Christ. Was I? It was 2020. I guess so. That's nuts. Baby. Baby. I think this workout was actually in 2019. That's right. This was when it was in the fall. Ugh. No, I would say no because no, I don't think you would. I would say you should split early because you're going to hang on longer. Um, singles are a great approach here. If you think you're going to get to singles like before round like 4 or 5, then you probably should just start with singles. Um, because then your cycle rate's going to be quicker. Like you can do 6 singles in like 20 seconds. Um, if you're going to do singles, make sure that you get on a bar that you don't have to jump to, that you can just kind of fall into your first rep. Um, but if you know you're going to do singles within the first, like before the 10-minute mark, then you should start with singles. Because you're gonna get slow and you're gonna redline. But no, I wouldn't go unbroken to singles if you think you can hold threes or even twos. But again, it's all about your rest. Like say you do a 2 or a 3, but you take a 5 to 7 second rest, singles are better, right? Because then you basically never come off the bar. Let's see if I have the WODprep suggestion for those toes to bar. 20.2 WODprep. There we go.
Hey, what's up? This is Ben from WODprep, and in this possibly can, we feel like $1,000,000 we're flying from movement to movement. What happens is that turbo speed eventually, after a few rounds, turns when it comes to compression.
Oh, Ben.
One issue that I'm going to see a lot of people expecting, but when I started playing around with those 50-pounders and started putting,
All right, here we go.
if you're not runner, our singles are going to be a huge win for a lot of people. The dumbbell
It is legal. Yeah.
going to
Hold on, I'm gonna
require
show
a lot
you.
of ad for people who type in WODprep thrust following the bar. Usually do a rep, and then as soon as my toes touch the bar,
So basically, he should do it on this bar right here. So you just sort of fall into. You do it on a short bar that you can reach standing, as long as you fall. Correct. Yeah, you're right. I'm getting there. So they make you more winded, Grant, because you take a huge jump. So basically, what you do is you take a bar that isn't taller than you are, that's like low. You basically just fall into your arch and you do like a dead swing single. And then your feet basically go back to the ground and your hands don't even have to come off the bar. You just have to pass through the arch with your feet in the air. That's it. So you would go to this lower bar right here.
I drop and set up for the next rep.
Right.
It is not very much.
See how he doesn't really jump. Like he does it because the bar is there. But if he did it here, he wouldn't even have to jump, and that would save another half a second each time. Right? That's a lot of reps. So, but no, Singles never actually make you more winded, I promise, because you're going to go to singles anyways. So we'll definitely make a video on, but yes, there is no rule. As long as you pass through, that's the same thing with like a box drop in for a ring muscle up, right? Or like jumping from the J hooks or something like that. But singles is probably the way to go if this is the workout. You know, if you don't have more than like 7 or 8 unbroken. Or if you think you're going to be there really quick. Ooh. What's up, Barry? Yeah. I would play with it, right? Like doing singles in a long workout like that is a it's like an ego attack. But it always works out. Like if you struggle with blowing up, it's the way to go. It's also a good learning tool and a good training concept, right? Because it's like, oh wow, I'm still holding the same splits, right? Oh, my round is taking me exactly a minute and 10 seconds every single time doing singles from the first. Oh, my round took me 50 seconds, my first 3 rounds. My next 3 rounds took me a minute 5. And then after round 6, I was a minute 30 because I was standing around. Why not just be a minute 10 the whole time? There won't be a bar. You're going to, no, just go to a gym. Just go to a gym. There's not going to be a bar there. It's going to be a handled pull-up bar, which you could still do it at. Like you could still do toast to bar like that. Just be kind of awkward. What else? Anything? What's up, Jeff? Is a row pretty much a given in the open? We didn't have a row. What year? 2022? I don't think we had a rower. Yeah, 2022 we didn't have a rower. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, if you're going to do any machine work, you should be rowing solely. Like, unless you know you're making it out of semifinals, you really, like, if you need to prioritize machines, you shouldn't be doing anything but rowing. Right? Like, it just, like the bike is great. Um, oh, that's good. Oh, that's a good time. I mean, it's no joke. It hurts. That's good. Good job. Let me see. I'm trying to look at the old open workouts. I think 22 there wasn't a rower. Yeah, we had wall walks, dumbbell snatches, deadlift, bar facing burpee, and then that thruster. Yeah, I think 2022 was the only time we didn't have a rower. Let's see. So maybe this year. We might not have had a rower this year. 21 and 22. Yeah, 21 and 22 because this was a lift, right? Yeah, 21 and 22 we didn't. Oh, that's because of COVID. So, which was fucking stupid. And then this was a yeah, and that was just because of COVID. So yeah, I would say it's pretty much a guarantee we're gonna have a rower again. Oh man, 24. Do we have a rower this year? Yeah, in 24.2. So yeah. Good row, burpees, double thrusters, double unders, and toes to bar are pretty much like our always guarantee. Last year was the first year we didn't have toes to bar in the open, like ever. So you can pretty much guarantee a toes to bar, some form of a thruster, and some form of a burpee all the time. And then I would say some form of rowing, right? Because it's really the only way that we can create a lot like an aerobic challenge that's not fucking shuttle runs. Yeah, but wall walks were only in there for 2 years. I don't think they'll be back. He killed them. Also, remember, like, it was a Dave thing, and then it was a Boz thing coming back, so I don't think they'll come back. mainly because people got so good at them. Right, but I mean, they made their entrance in the open in 2021, so it's not like they have a history, to be fair. Um, I know they have a history to you, Grant. Um, do I prefer calories or meters in a test? I know a lot of people, the meters thing, when it's 300 and when it's 300 meters, like how they did it last year, there just wasn't a separating effect. And so it doesn't make sense then. It needs to be long. It can't be really short because you just don't get rewarded for power output as much. Like there obviously is some, but it's not as much. Like a hard 300-meter row and a slow 300-meter row are only like if we think about it, right? So a slow could be 2 minutes, so that's going to take like what is that? A minute 10 and or like a minute 13 and then um but 20 calories, like you could row at a 1500 for 20 calories, which is like a 140 and be done in, like 52 seconds, right? Or 50 seconds versus 1200 meters, which is a minute or even 1000 or 1200 calories or 1000 calories, which is, that's going to take you like a minute 15. So there's a bigger separation, especially if it's short distance. If it's long, it starts to sort of balance itself out because you just can't row really hard for long periods of time. Um, uh, but yeah, there's just a power reward for meters. So people say they don't like it. I mean, I think you go to the test, right? Like if you do that, you just know that that's not going to be a separating factor, right? So, this is actually a great question, Grant. No, I'm on the train of you row the exact same no matter what all the time. Like same damper, same stroke style. You just go faster or slower depending on the intensity. I don't like to change the damper. I don't teach anyone to change the damper. Because yes, if you put the damper up, you will finish faster. So if you're just doing row sprints, that makes sense. You're just trying to train power output, but you're going to create more fatigue. So it doesn't make sense for you to put the damper up in a mixed workout, right? Like it doesn't change. Like there's going to be a drawback, right? Yeah, you might finish faster, but you're going to be more tired, right? You just row harder. So, um, now, do I think some people should have a higher damper versus a lower damper? Yeah, I think there's plays there. And then, understanding that drag factor is a big role, 115 for women and 125 for men. So those things play a huge role in what that looks like. But no, I don't think people should change it in general unless you're really big and strong, like really big and strong. You should always be rowing somewhere in the 4 to 6 range all the time. Yeah, when I started CrossFit, I know shit, I rode on 10. And I've always been a good rower in general, but when I changed it, it just got a million times better. Like, I'm a small guy, I'm only 180 pounds, 5'10", but I can manage high volume repeats and kinda high power output stuff, and, um, and I row in like a 5. So yeah, Kenneth, me too, me too. Alright. Yeah, like this meters was yeah, it probably should have been like 20 calories. That would have changed the workout a lot. But I think that was the goal. Dave has to know that. Like you got to know, right? That you're just trying to create separation from like minute separation and not just like reward. Calories will also reward just the bigger person. Um, Jody, that might even be a little high with your size. Just to be honest, check the drag factor. You guys don't know how to do that. Go to utilities, drag factor, and just pull. Women should be at around 115 and men should be at around 125. Oh, this tea tastes so good. Hey guys, so in I think like soon. If you follow me on Instagram, great. If you don't, follow the Movement Doctor. But we are doing a $3 open group. So you just basically to join our training group, WODprep Programming, which is what this 7-day free trial is down there. All the way through the open for $3. We'll be doing strategy calls as soon as the live announcement's over, warm-ups, feedback, Q&As, live calls throughout the weekend, predictions, etc. Everything inside of the group. We're going to be doing a live WODprep announcement, like as like a live reaction as it's going. And as soon as that's done, we'll go into the live coaching call, giving everyone advice, answering questions, etc. So if you're going to do the open and you want just a little bit of help, a little bit of structure, it's $3. Join our group. I'm going to post the link in the bio below once it's live, or just follow me on Instagram. We'll start promoting it. I think today I am feeling better. And so, and yeah, so if you guys are doing the open, even if you don't do a lot of CrossFit, you should join. It's $3, right? And then maybe, hang around for some training and programming. We got a lot of cool things that we do in the group. We offer a lot of value in there. We're very small and personal with all of our athletes. And we have a lot of good time and we have a lot of good results. A lot of people get pretty fit on our program. So will we be doing open workout approach videos after releases? So we're going to do a live reaction, like we're going to do a live cast with the team, public, like on YouTube. As soon as that's done, inside of our group, we'll be doing our strategy call with our members. So 1 hour after. So if it releases at 2 p.m. Central, we'll watch it. And then at 3, we'll come back on inside of our group, inside the paywall. And then we'll be starting to give our strategy immediately there, and we'll build out our warm up, answer questions, give input, and then we'll start to do our best to make predictions based on levels. That's going to be our goal this year, is to start making predictions on levels and stuff. And so we'll do our best, right? Like it's going to be a lot of subjective stuff, but we're going to kind of go through and figure it out. So we'll be live on YouTube for the actual announcement. We'll watch it. We'll answer. No strategy calls for the public. We got to give something inside. It's $3. $3, Avera. I won't even know who you are on the inside. Just make your name different. I won't even know who you are. You don't ever have to do anything, but it's $3. But no strategy calls for the public. But we do, we post our video. It's just the video won't be till later. Mainly because of time. Like we just can't give a lot of time. Like we can't give, there's only so much time in the day, right? We have one-on-one athletes and we have our paying athletes. So we gotta hold something back, but we'll be talking strategy on that call, like we'll be like on the live reaction, like we'll be talking strategy then for sure. But we'll just keep it more structured inside of our group for our paying members. And then I'll be on Friday morning, obviously, and my personal self, and we'll do all the, whatever it is and give feedback and scan the leaderboard and all that shit. And go from there. So cool. All right. I think I'm gonna go back to sleep, to be honest. Yeah, I got a couple hours. I think my kid's about to wake up. So maybe I can get a little bit of sleep before he wakes up fully. And then I have to get back to my day. All right. Good stuff, guys. Thanks. That show turned out okay. A lot of people hanging around. I know. I think I'm gonna go back to bed. I am. I think I'm gonna go back to sleep though. I feel terrible. 4th exactly. All right. If you haven't signed up for the open yet, scan the QR code, sign up now. If you're looking for some training, 7-day free trial right there. As usual, if you are a shit sleeper like me, I usually sleep well. I'm not sleeping well at all right now. I could take 100 third Z's and wouldn't matter. But for the most part, third Z helps me optimize my sleep, what little I get. So scan the QR code, 15% off. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the day. We'll see you Friday, and hopefully